Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I am Keisha Nix. I am coming on to you here live for this discussion on living with chronic illness on behalf of Dear Encourager. And I hope everyone is doing well today. How are you? Oh, I hope you're doing well. And I hope this is all going well as far as the broadcast. Because, yeah, I tried to hook it up and we tried to make sure that it was going well. Okay, I see that it's broadcasting live on my actual page. So that's great. Hey, hallelujah. Let's see if it's broadcasting on the actual Dear Encourager page. Let's switch over and let's see. Let's see. Because this is all new to me. I want to make sure that all the things I said it was going to do, hopefully that it's doing. I tried to practice earlier and get some. I don't see it on the actual, on the business page, but I do see it on the group page. I see it on the group page. We are having trouble streaming to Instagram. Okay, well, they're saying that it's not doing it on Instagram, but I know that it's doing it on the group, so that's important to me. Okay. So let's check that business page one more time to see if it's going. Well, it doesn't look like it wants to be doing that, but we're gonna go over there and try to see if we can make it. Now this one, it says I'm live, but I'm not picking it up. That's it. I'm screaming public. We're gonna try it again for Instagram. But anyway, I'm just glad to be here. You can hear me? My mom says she can hear me. I hope you can. My mic's saying I'm working. You can hear me? Well, great. I'm glad that you can hear me. But I don't know what's going on over here with this Instagram, but I'm gonna That was supposed to start. Okay, we're gonna just leave it be. But again, I am Keisha, and I am here today, and I'm going to talk about living with chronic illnesses. And I was waiting on Vanessa, but we're gonna keep on keeping on. So I wanted to talk. I guess I'll come on down here and change the view since right now it's just me. Well, and I wanted to first just say that most things that I'm going to be talking to you about, I am going to be speaking with a reference from. Let's see if I can get this to come on and switch on over. Well, trying to get to the studio. Okay, well, I'm trying to get on in here to show y'all, but I wanted to give reference to this actual article, Living with Chronic Disease, Insights from Patients with low economic low socioeconomic status, because typically those who have a lot of chronic illnesses are those who actually are in that socioeconomic class. So I wanted to just talk to you briefly about living with an actual, chronic illnesses. I can just say for today, as I'm going to try to present from this actual thing. I hope and I pray that it's going to work. Let's see if it's going to do it for me. Yay. Okay, well, that other slide is not cooperating with me, but it's just a title slide. But as we're going to be talking today about the struggles of the chronically ill patient, which is me every day, which was me today earlier. It interferes with your physical, your mental, your social functions. And which is, like I said before, the reason why I thought that there was a need to start something like this, because it can actually cause problems for anyone that's chronically ill. It also it affects your finances, because you have to keep going to the doctor. It affects your finances because you have to sometimes change your actual your job. In my case, I think today is just going to be, I'm going to use me as an example, which I've done before, and I'm going to do it again. I had to change my job because of just the different challenges that I had within my, with my different obstacles. I'm going to call them my obstacle for today. And so that was hard for me, because when you go from being at one level and then you come down to another level, that's hard. And then especially when you need more and more tests done to help. Okay, so that could create some great challenges, because you need more things, and then you have less money. And then it also says, when you're dealing with social isolation, I can't say that I necessarily was isolated, but it does make it harder for you to be able to go to places, because typically people don't want to go because they're going to be concerned about you being sick, getting sick. And so it's just easier to stay at home, because you don't want people concerned about you. And so in that instance, that could lead to loneliness. And I think that's why I put so much emphasis on not using the word loneliness around here, because I don't want people to feel that way. And that's my big major thing of this support group, is for us not to feel lonely, and it's for us to be a community to one another, because the whole goal of support is to encourage and be available to one another. Now, with the disabilities, yes, chronic conditions can truly create all kinds of disabilities, from things of the change of what you get to eat. I consider that a disability, to a physical disability. Disabilities can be visible and they can be invisible. And in my situation, I see it as invisible, because many people can't tell what my challenges are unless they catch me on one of those days when my eyes are out of whack and doing all kinds of unique things. So that in itself can cause a struggle, because if you don't typically see a disfigurement or something. It's very difficult for folks to understand in a chronic disease person that there is something wrong, and it's hard for them to empathize with them. And with people like me who actually deal with the fatigue and things, that's hard, because today is a hard day with me with just fatigue. And some people be like, for real, you consider fatigue an illness? It really is. Like fatigue, pain, discomfort, those are some things that people deal with every day, and it makes life very difficult. So you have some people who deal with chronic pain, and folks really don't understand how much, you like, you stump your toe, that's one thing, but think about someone who is just dealing with absolute pain every day, that they, from the moment they wake up to the time they go to sleep, and then they're challenged with trying to actually be a decent human being and be nice and polite all day long, when others are just able to just go on about their day. That is hard. And it's hard when you have to get up and you have to try to do things every day. So it's a struggle. And it's something that you may not quantify as ill, but it is, and I'm trying not to be speaking from a biased standpoint, but it truly is a difficult challenge. So this is like one of the reasons why I wanted to get on here and speak from the chronically ill patient, but I truly wanted to be able to speak from a place of not being biased. But for today, for some reason today, it just didn't work out that way. My body, God, just didn't want me to be able to just come on here and just be able to talk, because today I'm coming from a place of discomfort. But I think we have to understand where the person who is chronically ill is actually coming from in order to be able to support them. So you have to first educate yourself on the condition that the person is actually going through. Okay. I mean, you have to truly understand, study that condition, especially if you're going to be someone who's going to be a caregiver or a support for that person. And because if you're going to do that, you have to be able to understand what they're going through, understand what you're getting yourself into, if you're going to actually be the support person. Okay. And know that you will get tired, but also know that you just can't put a time limit on when that person's supposed to get better. Because with a chronic illness, typically they don't go away. Okay, they don't. So if you can't do it, then try to find out ways to help that person to get the support that they need when you can't be there. Okay, so let me try to see if I can get back on task. So typically when people are asked about their chronic condition, they are asked how do they feel about it, and they feel that it is a heavy burden. And they feel that it's a heavy burden pretty much because of what I just said. Because your life has changed. Sometimes you have a physical limitation. It, like I said, it affects your social life. And it also makes you sometimes have to give up your dependency. And I don't know how it was for everyone else, but for me, it was it was very hard for me to give up my dependence, and it still is, because I do have to still give up my dependence. Well, independence, excuse me. Because I'm going to get into myself, because I'm used to doing what I want. I'm type A, I'm a brat. Yeah. I don't like anybody telling me what I can and can't do. So for me to be in this struggle where I can't physically do what I want all the time, because I always have to maybe consider that there is a chance that something may happen. So I have to kind of put all these little checks and balances into place. That's hard, but it's required. So, that can make things difficult. And as far as things that, the little fun things I can't do like I used to, which I didn't do much of, but, you know, like seeing Usher on the Super Bowl roller skating. Honey, I wanted to go get me some skates, and I wanted to go and skate. Excuse me, I should have brought some water. But I can't, because of the fact that I could bump my head. And we don't need that. Okay. And sometimes, just dealing with the whole coping part, you can accept it, but then sometimes you still have that anger portion where you don't want to accept it, because you want to still be able to be in control of what you're doing, and you can't. And that's hard. And so sometimes it's just much easier to try to vent to people. But sometimes in your venting, if you've been venting for like 8 years, and you've been venting about the same stuff for 8 years, even though you have a right to want to vent for 8 years, sometimes you do need to move on from venting from the same things for 8 years. And sometimes you just need to find different people, because in your venting, let's just be real, everyone gets tired, and in the tiredness, sometimes your support system gets tired and be like, oh my gosh, you're still venting about this. They're entitled to feel that way. You're entitled to feel how you feel about that. But sometimes that's why you need a support group. So this is why Dear Encourager is here. Okay. So we understand that there are going to be some chronically ill people. We understand there's nothing you can do about it. But we also understand that everybody needs a break. And so this is why Dear Encourager is here for you. And this is why we believe support groups are important. And I don't have an evidence-based actual article to support it, but the next thing that I do have is why there are benefits to a support group. Because when you come to a place like a support group, like Dear Encourager, you know that you're not by yourself. And I think these days that's what most people just need to know, that they're not alone, because in this society, there are just so many people that feel alone because everybody is pretty much out there for themselves, and are just too tired and just going through too much on their own. And another reason why support groups are good is facilitates giving and receiving support. So you get to also support somebody else. And I don't know if y'all are wired like me, but if I don't get to help people, I don't think I, I would be doing well, because that's who I am and how I am. I see little Susie. Susie got a problem. If I can help little Susie in any way, I'm going to try to help little Susie. And being in a support group also helps you find a voice. You just feel like you are able to do something, especially if you feel like you're in a situation when you've lost your independence. But here you are, you're able to say in these support groups, you know what, I need this. How can I be a part of the solution and helping myself get this, or helping other people receive this? And then the fourth thing is help you relate to others and yourself in healthier ways. You know, because I do make jokes about unhealthy ways of dealing with my problems, but I don't do it. But it is a great way to just be able to say, instead of doing blah blah blah, I came and I'm talking to you all about this. Can y'all help me figure out what's a better way to deal with this? My family and I are struggling with this. What do you think? And it's always could be a positive thing also for the caregivers also, but it's just today I'm just happening to be talking about it from a person who has a chronic illness. So um you know that's why we were created, um to support each other and help everybody, be able to have some feeling of belonging. So I'm so happy to say that now at least I can offer a flyer to you all to show you our mission and our vision, purpose, and our story. Um, Long time coming, but I want to also just take some time if anyone has any questions about anything related to our organization. If you have any comments related to living with a chronic illness, just please just ask them in the comments and I will try and answer them. Okay. And if you're interested in being a part of our support group, you can actually join our support group on Facebook, and it's Dear Encourager, the Facebook group. Dear Encourager. Let's see, make sure I did this right. Okay. Let's see. Well, Looks like no one has any questions. So I'm going to leave you all to your remainder of your night. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Bye.